Hey, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be talking about my dream guitar, this James Tyler Studio Elite Burning Water 2K that I custom spec'd out at Martin Music in Memphis, Tennessee.
Hey guys, Eric Martin coming to you from Martin Music in Memphis with my good friend Colin Littlejohn, and we're doing something completely different today. I'm doing an unboxing of a Tyler guitar, and this time it's different because normally I get to unbox it, you see it for the first time, I see it for the first time. This is Colin's guitar. So we special ordered this for him last year. Was it
January?
January. Okay. We were able to move a build slot around to get this guitar in earlier, quite a bit earlier than we had initially thought. And so I get to share my excitement of opening up this guitar with the person who is going to get it. And just as a backstory, I've known Colin and his family for 30 years, something crazy like that. So this is kind of like everything's come full circle. This is awesome. This is so awesome.
I grew up going to your shop, the very first shop, and I saw a Tyler behind the counter with like all the like untouchable guitars, you know, as a kid, and that's what planted the seed in my mind. So yeah, full circle to be able to order one.
Yeah, this is so cool. So this makes me happy too, because out of all the guitars that I own myself, which is a handful or so, one of the guitars that I always go to, it's kind of my holy grail, very top of the list, is my Tyler. So I'm totally stoked that he is getting one too, and I'm sure this is going to be the kind of the same experience. Oh, here, I'll cut this open.
Okay.
And then I'll let you pull it out? Or
all right. Yeah.
You good with that?
Way,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And he's gotten a sneak peek at this, which I haven't gotten, which is I'm a little jealous. So Colin already knows what this looks like, and so he just has.
I know what the front looks like. I don't know what the back. That's all.
Okay.
The pictures I got from the shop were only from the front. So.
Okay. Not the whole thing.
No.
All right. So here, I'll hold this box open. You do the honors. So remember, this is a first. This is a first where the customer who's getting it gets to experience this too with us. All right. Okay. I'm feeling like this is like the Pulp Fiction moment with the briefcase, the light shining out of it.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Let's see.
That was Repo Man.
Oh man. Holy cow.
So what we got here is a Tyler Burning Water with the arm bevel. If I'm not mistaken, this is the secret humbucker.
Yeah, the secret
in the 5500s.
5500s.
So the way this works is normally when you have a volume knob, it's either 250K or a 500K pot. You do 250K so the taper works well with the single coils. You do a 500K and it works so the taper works well with the humbucker. What Tyler has done is they have loaded these pickups, single coils, for 500K. So you got the volume knob works perfectly with both the single coils and the humbucker. This has the active mid boost, and that's the bypass button there. I forgot. Oh, that's so cool. I forgot about that.
Which is kind of an ode to Mike Landau,
which we are listening to right now.
Yep.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Man, that was
There's a lot of burning on this. There's
So,
a lot of there's a lot of movement on that. That's great.
Yeah, this was like a really active looking. I'm glad we went with the 2K.
Yeah.
That has the blue in it. Yeah. Golly. Man.
All right, hit a chord. Hit a chord. It's in tune.
In tune.
In tune. So this is the 59 standard 59 profile.
It's the bigger one.
The bigger one. Okay. Yep.
Bigger one.
Okay.
Just a little bit. Yeah, it's nice. Man. Yeah, this is just like perfect feeling neck. Man.
Exceeds expectations.
Oh, just beyond. Beyond. This is just crazy. It's like the dream combination here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come in.
Awesome.
Come in.
Yeah, I love the black headstock. The beautiful. Gosh. Just the most perfect feeling neck.
Yes.
There's just something about it that's.
What have you been playing so far? What's your main guitar?
PRS Swamp Ash Special.
Yeah.
So it's not, you know,
Yeah.
a totally different planet from this, but definitely different.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely different. Yeah. 2007 PRS Swamp Ash Special was kind of been my number one for
Forever.
9 years.
How's the weight on
8
it?
years. Oh,
Oh, hey, that's great.
incredible.
Yeah. Nice.
It's nice and light.
Yeah, man. So my thing is like how loud it is unplugged.
Oh yeah.
You just know it's gonna sound good plugged. Nice. Locking tuners,
Yep.
quarter sawn neck. Look at that grain. In grain there, perfectly quarter sawn. Love it. Tyler, multi-title logo. Yeah, then this is a guitar for a lifetime.
Yeah.
Thank you, James Tyler. Thank you again. All right, man. Congrats.
Listen,
This is
Larry.
awesome.
Yeah, so
I'm
excited.
like so totally stoked for you.
Yeah.
I just know from my own experience, you know, how much I've loved mine. So that this will be the same for you. Yeah.
So excited.
This guy. New guitar day. So
Yeah,
good.
this is
so
most,
good.
most epic new guitar day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It'll be hard to top this.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, y'all. I want to thank Colin for driving in from out of town. This was quite a bit of a journey for him to do this. Appreciate him. Appreciate his business. If you guys have any questions about ordering a Tyler or any other of these kind of guitars, we're here to help you out. Just give us a shout. Let us know. Thank you, Colin.
Yeah.
Thank you. And
Thank
congrats.
you.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm so totally stoked for you. This is awesome.
So excited.
All right. See y'all. Have a good day.
See ya.
So it's been about 2 weeks since that unboxing, and I really wanted to use this and work with it a little bit, get it under my fingers, put it in my hands a little bit before I did the demo, so I'd be a more comfortable and a little more educated on what it feels like and just the whole experience of speccing this guitar out and then seeing how it works in real life. So let's go over the specs that I chose for this guitar. I've got the specifications chart here that came with the guitar, and just because I don't want to try to go off memory and misspeak. So it's a Studio Elite HD, and the HD is kind of talks about this preamp, this mid-boost preamp, that is one of the most usable things and musical sounding preamps I've ever heard. I got it because I feel like it's synonymous with the James Tyler. You can take it out of the circuit, no problem, but having it, I've found that I use it quite a bit, even over the last 2 weeks, doing some session work, some songwriting, and some rehearsals for a big LA gig that I have coming up, and I use it quite a bit. So we'll get into that into the demo. It's a burning water, which is what this finish is called. They're kind of like fingerprints. You don't totally know what you're gonna get. And I've got the arm, the bare arm cut here, just because that was something that was kind of synonymous to me with the burning water. It was something that I really wanted to be a part of this. I've got a matte black headstock. Their headstock is really polarizing. People either love it or they hate it. Hopefully you can see it. Kind of, the shape is definitely different. My little brother, for instance, who's a great guitar player himself, thinks this is probably the ugliest guitar and the ugliest headstock that he's ever seen. It's polarizing, and I definitely get that. It's also the coolest looking guitar and the coolest looking headstock that I've ever seen. So, you know, opinions are gonna vary there. The pickups, I've got the JTS 5500s, which are single coils that are wound to work with a 500K potentiometer. So since we have a humbucker in the bridge, that's always a complicated thing with super strats, is getting the humbucker and the single coils to all work together with each other, and getting the right pots is a huge thing. So these single coils are wired in a way, I imagine that there's a load on there that allows it to work with a 500K pot and not be too thin or overly tinny. And the pickup is the secret. That is my favorite James Tyler pickup. It is iconic, and especially with Mike Landau, who is one of my biggest inspirations in guitar playing, and also happens to be a significant James Tyler endorsee from the early years of James Tyler. So like I said, we have the mid boost, we have a master volume, master tone, 5-way pickup selector, and then this awesome button here that's just a press button to engage or disengage the mid boost preamp. So the neck is a quarter sawn maple neck with a matching fingerboard. It is the Fat 59 profile. This is the biggest profile that I could get from them. I like a big chunky neck, and this is so comfortable. This one is not even overly chunky. When I first grabbed it, I was a little surprised at how small it was maybe. I was expecting a little more exaggeration, but now after playing it, it is so comfortable. Coming from my PRS that has the wide fat neck profile, that's just what I've become really accustomed to, what's really comfortable to me, and this honestly compares to that. I would say it's not quite as beefy on the shoulders, but I mean, the thickness at the first fret is 0.875, and at the 12th it's 0.985. I've got a compound 10 to 12 radius on the fretboard, and their fretwork is just unbelievable. As somebody who also does guitar repair, this is something that I really look for in the quality of an instrument, is what is the fretwork like, what are the fret ends, how are they dressed. And I got this with the rolled fingerboard edges, and James Tyler does they were early adopters of the rolled fingerboard, one of the earliest, at least to my knowledge, and it's a little exaggerated, but it is so immediately comfortable and broken in that I would compare it to anything else on the market, is how good their fretwork is. It's an alder body, and I've got hip shot locking tuning machines and a Goto G2TS tremolo system. It's the 2-point Goto that everybody uses. That's what I know by. I don't know by the G2TS. But it does have the rolled James Tyler saddles. It's a little more traditional. I really like the sound of them. I believe they're even manufactured by Raw Vintage, which is Exotics. Kind of under Exotics umbrella. Overall, I mean, the craftsmanship is just crazy. Look at that back. It is unbelievable. So it came set up with 11s, which is what I use on my PRS, only because my PRS really doesn't like 12s. I've tried it multiple times. I play 12s on everything else. Almost every one of these electrics here up on the wall, and definitely the ones down here, have 12s on them. That's what I'm most comfortable with. That's what I like. But on the PRS, it's just never set up great with 12s, and so I go to 11s on that one, but have it kind of set up with higher tension for 11s, and that's just getting the right amount of springs and pull from the tremolo to allow a little more tension there. And so I was expecting that with a high performance guitar like this, and it came set up beautifully. However, I was finding that I was over bending the 11s, and especially with a floating trim, which I don't have any of my other trims set up to be floating. It's just kind of a habit, a place that I got to. I can still use them. But with this, I really like the floating trim. I think I'm going to definitely set my PRS to be more floating, just to get more of that wobble or warble effect. I switched to 12s on this guitar fairly early, and it took about 2 days for me to put 12s on it and reset it up for that. And I'm really happy with it with 12s. It's super comfortable. It's now in the right spot. It feels a lot more familiar to me, switching between my other guitars. Overall, this thing feels and plays just like a dream. I mean, all of my expectations are exceeded beyond. So shout out to Eric, who helped me spec this out. Getting to order this guitar from him was really special and kind of sentimental to me growing up going to his shop. Definitely check out their inventory, and the Tylers that he specs out to become available for purchase are really awesome. Let's get into some of the tones here. So we'll listen to specifically this mid boost preamp, but we'll just kind of go pretty clean here. One of my favorite things with this mid boost is having it all the way down, and we'll hear as you turn it up, the Q changes, it shifts in the spectrum. So it's not just boosting one mid frequency. This is a lot more musical and frankly a lot more usable for me specifically. So here is, let's just go to the neck, and then we're just in the mid boost is disengaged. So we're just in passive pickup mode. Nothing too fancy going on. I've got some delay, I've got some reverb, I've got my Bogner Harlow compressor that stays on all the time. And so here's my bass, clean tone. It's really great sound. Let's go to the fourth position real quick. Okay, and then the middle pickup. Second position. And then the bridge pickup, the humbucker. So let's listen to what the mid boost does. We're going to go back to the fourth position, and we're going to hear it disengaged, then I will engage it, and we can just kind of hear the difference. This is with the mid boost all the way down, so it's still active in the circuit, but it adds like a buffer, a really chimey presence, like hi-fi kind of sound. So here's the fourth position in passive pickup mode. So you can hear it just adds so much presence to the top end, and it's not noisy at all, and it really stays with you when you dig in. It's very musical, it kind of blooms. Again, we'll hear the neck pickup, passive, and then active. Again, that clarity, it's like turning on a fuzz with passive pickups and then turning the volume down on the guitar where you get that real clarity, super clean sound. We'll just kind of play that. So here's the fuzz. So it's a very similar effect to that, turning the guitar volume down with a fuzz on. Let's listen to how the mid boost changes as we turn it up gradually. We'll go back to the neck pickup, stay clean, and then we'll add some overdrives. So as you turn it up, it really fattens up the tone, and that into an overdrive is really incredible. So we'll just start with the tube screamer here. We're in passive mode on the neck pickup. So as you turn that mid boost up, it fattens up into the overdrive. And if I took something like the T-Rex Mud Honey here, and we're gonna start passive and then add the mid boost in and then turn it up, you're gonna hear you've got all these levels of saturation at your fingertips and dynamic range. You can hear it just gives you, multiple times more dynamic range just at the guitar and saturation levels. I find that it's really musical. I find that I use it all the way up or all the way down typically. And so all the way up on a bridge pickup into something like the Ultraphonics. It gets you into this like FET distortion, tube driver, maybe a low gain fuzz face somewhere in there. I really find that a tighter overdrive or a really sloppy overdrive are going to react very differently with that mid boost and then where the level is at when you engage it as well. Again, this is just an incredible honor to be able to own one. And you know, shout out to Martin Music for helping me spec this out, Eric Martin over there, and all the guys. You know, this was a really cool experience to be able to go there and unbox it and shoot this video. You're gonna see this a ton on the channel. I'm gonna be using it obviously on a bunch of sessions and live gigs that I've got coming up this summer, as well as tracking for my album. So we're in the writing process right now, very early stages. And that was a big part of getting this guitar, was to be able to get it while Jim Tyler is still at the company, have a guitar with his hands on it, you know, much less his name on the headstock, and be able to use that for the album. What I'm envisioning and the styles and the way that I want to play this guitar, I mean, it's an incredible precision super Strat. You know, and the attention to detail and the functionality for a James Tyler is unbeatable in my opinion. There's a lot of great companies out there that have been building super Strats for as long as he has, and for, you know, the artists and session players that James Tyler's, you know, put guitars in hands. But a lot of those companies make a lot more guitars a year than James Tyler. Not that they're bad, and not that they're unplayable by any means. There's a lot of incredible guitars out there, but the limited number of guitars that he makes, I think, goes into the amount of detail that each guitar gets, and not only to look really awesome and kind of polarizing and crazy, but functionally be perfect, really, at least for me. You know, this is the ideal. I can cover all the ground that I want to play. And this level of instrument, I feel like the instrument is a non-factor, and that's kind of crazy to spend all this money on an instrument for it to like not play a part. But I feel like it's built so well and it plays so well that it's really all up to me. I feel like I can play fully myself and pull off some stuff that I maybe couldn't pull off on one of my tellies, because I'm kind of fighting the telly a little bit. That's the beauty in those guitars, but to have something like this is really truly special. So definitely check out James Tyler guitars. You know, there's a ton of options to spec out. This is just what I went with. This is what I've had in my head since I was a kid, and seeing the first James Tyler Burning Water behind the desk at Martin Music as a kid. Check out Martin Music's inventory of James Tyler's. Eric will happily set you up and get you into a James Tyler that's right for you. And you know, honestly, I'm biased, but they're one of the best shops in the country. It's a local owned place in Memphis, and Eric is incredible, so check them out. If you like this kind of content, please like and share. You know, send this video to others who you think might be into this kind of content. Let me know what your dream guitar, or what the super Strat that you would spec out would be. Until next time, I've been Colin. It's Tyler Studio. Hey. Okay. My dream guitar. This shout out to my guy. Here we go. It's an alder body, and I've got hip shop, and I've got hip shock, I've got hips, and it came up set, and it came up